The world is a wondrous and confusing place. The advancement of science and history and expansion of our knowledge of the Earth gives us a more comprehensive view of our world than ever before. So today, here at Unexplained Mysteries, we'll be taking a look at mysterious discoveries. A fire in Australia has been burning for 6,000 years. When you think of long-lasting natural landmarks that have been around for thousands of years, the first thing to come to mind might be Mount Everest or the Thames. What you might not think of is a fire, but surprisingly, an enormous coal seam fire known as Burning Mountain is currently flaming underneath Australia and has likely been doing so for thousands upon thousands of years. Burning Mountain, located deep underground below Mount Wingan in New South Wales, is at first glance just a standard coal seam fire, which is a rather common phenomenon. In fact, at any given point in time, scientists estimate that there are several thousand such fires blazing below ground across the world. These fires ignite within the natural coal layer and grow to an unstoppable and inextinguishable smoulder as they consume the coal seam. Because these ignite underground, there is no flame, rather a boiling hot ember that quickly rages through the abundant fuel available. So, if subterranean fires are rather commonplace, what makes the Burning Mountain fire so interesting to scientists? The simple answer is that its sheer age and size sets it well apart from the other known examples of coal seam fires, although its exact measurements can only be guessed. On the surface, the only evidence of a massive underground fire is the ashy area stretching through an otherwise idyllic eucalyptus forest in the Australian National Park. Moving at a rate of about 1 metre a year, the path of the Burning Mountain fire can be traced back for decades, as once the fire moves on, the forest returns, albeit in a slightly altered state. Guillermo Rain, a professor of fire science at Imperial College London, described his observations of the phenomenon in an interview, saying that ahead of the fire, where it hasn't arrived, you see this beautiful eucalyptus forest. Where the fire is now, there's absolutely nothing alive, not even grass. And where the fire was 20 to 30 years ago, the forest has come back, but it's a different forest. The fire has shaped the landscape. And while 2 or 3 decades might seem like an unbelievably long time for a fire to be burning, the incredible reality is that a couple of decades is only a flash of time in the life of this ancient fire, which some experts estimate to be over 6,000 years old, while others claim that it is so much older. Although modern-day coal seam fires are inadvertently ignited because of human mining operations in the seams, nobody is certain what could have led to the first spark being lit at Burning Mountain all those thousands of years ago, although natural causes are the most likely explanation. The first recorded observation of the fire was in 1828 by a local farmer, and the region was identified as a coal seam fire the following year. In total, the path of the fire has covered over 6 kilometres throughout the course of its ancient life, and the area is even regarded as sacred by the Wonnarua people, who historically used the warm, lifeless ground for cooking and crafting weapons. As mysterious as Burning Mountain is, unfortunately, it is likely to remain so for the near future, as there are limits to what researchers can study about it. For now, it is simply an ancient and mystifying tourist attraction deep below Mount Wingan. Swarm of 20,000 earthquakes could make Iceland's volcanoes erupt. As of late, Iceland has experienced an abundance of earthquakes and endured a lot of seismic activity, which experts fear might awaken the ancient volcanoes of the nation. Over 20,000 earthquakes have been recorded by scientists at the Icelandic Meteorological Office since February 2021, which caused an immense number of problems for citizens of the country. The majority of the earthquakes average to a magnitude of 3, though some are higher. This at least means that they are not catastrophic but can be felt and cause moral unrest, with much fear of the magnitude potentially rising as this strange occurrence continues. Iceland has a history of volcanic eruptions resulting from earthquake-like activity,
heightening stress about it happening again. The Reykjanes Peninsula is most at threat, with most seismic activity happening there. The peninsula is at an orange level, meaning that it is likely to erupt. The Icelandic government confessed that there have been pulses of volcanic activity occasionally occurring since February, and this has been at an increased rate, the most notable of which occurred near Mount Keilir. But the Scientific Council for Civil Protection stands by their statement that there is no evidence of magma incoming, although it's important to note that when this comes to volcanic activity, things can change instantaneously. An eruption, should it happen, would place the surrounding areas under great danger. Even if scientists are estimating it to only be a small eruption, it would result in undountable property damage from lava. There is also the potential for scientific estimation to be faulty, and an impromptu eruption could be far worse than assumed. Ash could also lead to a massive problem for Iceland's tourism industry and cause issues for world aviation as well. Despite the potential risks, the Icelandic Prime Minister seems confident in Iceland's preparation for natural disasters, remarking that the country would know exactly what to do in such a situation. When interviewed about the matter, the Prime Minister stated, "Iceland has highly trained, educated and experienced professionals in this area. Most importantly, the Icelandic public is used to dealing calmly with many different types of natural events related to the weather or geology. Volcanoes have power over us just as other forms of natural disasters do. Hurricanes, tornadoes, cyclones, it is just a reminder of our mortality and limitations against the strength our planet holds. Beautiful, yet so dangerous, he could steal the lives of millions and can destroy half a nation with enough determination. It is no wonder that our ancestors respected nature." World's first living robots can now reproduce. We might think of clunky machines when we picture a robot or a sleek, elegant cyborg. These futuristic concepts are on the horizon and in progress, yes, but a new sort of robot is also on its way. These robots are alive and they are starting to reproduce. Xenobots, the world's first living robots, are made from the stem cells of the African clawed frog, though are less than a millimeter in width. These blobs have remained strong through a number of tests, proving that they can move, work in groups, and regenerate themselves. Scientists at the University of Vermont, Tufts University, and the Wise Institute for Biologically Inspired Engineering at Harvard University have been working on these living robots and seem to have discovered a whole new form of reproducing that is distinct from any animal or plant that we know of. Josh Bongard, a computer science professor and robotics expert at the University of Vermont and the lead author of the study, said, "It's not so much what a robot is made from, but what it does, which is act on its own on behalf of people." He continued to explain that whilst it is a robot by his previous definition, it is also an organism made from genetically unmodified frog cells. It has now been observed that xenobots can replicate under rare and specific conditions. They underwent a process known as kinetic replication, which before now has only been known to take place at a molecular level. This, combined with artificial intelligence, is helping to make this replication more efficient. Before we know it, these xenobots will be in their prime, replicating efficiently and with ease. This has made scientific history and will continue to evolve and do so. But what do you make of these recent discoveries? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comment section below and help us grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.